This video is just a follow-up to talk about row level security in just a little more detail. So in a dimension file, if all dimensions that are not associated have an authority, and the user does not have the authority to see any of those, they will get the access denied exception. What happens if you have a few values that really aren't sensitive and you want to let the user see those values? All you need to do is get rid of the authority, and then they will be able to see that. So you'll notice that I still have these other three values that have this. I'll just get rid of the XX on there, and we'll make the married available as well. So now my user will have at least one of these. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave them as XX to show that the user still can access this file, even though he does not have any of those privileges. All the privileges here for marital start with an XX, and my user, its marital status is just married, so he doesn't have any of these XX ones. Now, if you remember last time we came in through here and we did a default and it gave us an access denied exception. So I'm going to load the default builder again, and it allows it through, and it actually auto selects married. And the reason, and that's the only selection that I get, so even though married does not have a privilege on it, but because the rest of those values do have an authority, and they don't, and this user does not have authorities for those other values, this married value has to be selected as a filter, because that's the only thing this user has the authority to see. Now I'll go back and I'll just take out on this marital status here. Now we'll take out the XX's. Save this file, and we'll go back and we'll load the default again. I should see two entries now for mother's marital status. And because this user has the authority of married, does not have any authority, but they do have the authority for state total married. And let's go look and make sure that that's the case. State total married has an authority of marital married, which matches this authority right here. So that's why the user is able to see that, those two selections. And again, this is wired up, the processing bean is wired up on the submit as well. So even if the user unselects those values will be automatically selected when they run the query, and I can demonstrate that real quick. So I'm going to uncheck those. Let's just uncheck that altogether, and we will submit this. We'll go to query result, and we'll see up here in the mother's marital status filter, it put them back in for married and state married total. The next topic I wanted to cover was when you want to have a roll-up type of a security definition, row-level security definition. So let's take our GeoZip, which actually is mutually exclusive per local health district. What that means is that only certain zip codes, there's never going to be a zip code that resides in both local health districts, or could reside in one or more. It only resides in one local health district. Never can a zip code be shared common amongst two or more local health districts. So what you would do in this case, what I would do in this case anyway, is I would go to my local health district file, and let's just say, let's take Davis, well, we'll take Salt Lake Valley local health district right here, which is LHD4. I'm going to copy this just for convenience. I'm going to come back to my GeoZip file, and I'm going to look for Salt Lake. And there's Salt Lake County. There's some more Salt Lake County. So any of these zip codes that look like they would be Salt Lake County, and I could actually do a search and replace. If I look for Salt Lake County title, I could replace that with Salt Lake County title, and then add in this authority for local health district 4. So what I would do is I would go through and add those in like that. And that's not a bad exercise to do. Let's do that. just so you can see that when they auto select one, it auto selects them all. So I'm going to search for Salt Lake County title, and I'm going to replace it with Salt Lake County title, and then I'm going to add this authority for local health district 4. And go up here at the top and say replace all, 194 of them. Close that, save that. Now let's refresh. Let's go back to our query definition, and we'll reload that because it's cached. And let's go down here to geolocal health district. When we open up zip code, jump back to my GeoZip real quick just to enter in these values here. I'll place all these so that we don't see them. Alright, let's save that file. We'll go back here and we'll refresh this just to get rid of all those zip codes that are in there so that we only see the ones that we want to see. I just went and really quickly replaced the rest of the, I put an authority in for the rest of the local health districts just to be some dummy value that the user doesn't have privileges for. So that's how you would do that. Again, you can only really do this when your local health district is going to be mutually exclusive of zip codes within its contained boundaries. So it's kind of a trick. It's not really a kludge. It's just kind of a trick that you can use in this instance. But otherwise, hierarchical type privilege for a user based on some dimension rolling up into another dimension cannot be done. It has to be it's very flat, and it has to match exactly for that user to have that authority. Again, I hope this video was helpful, and please feel free to give me a call if you have any questions. Thanks.